Hey guys, welcome to Yankee League. Yankee League Season 2 starting up, and I'm going to have to lift off my command center here and get vision so I can actually cast the game. So quick shout out to almost everybody involved. Special thanks to everybody that actually plays in this. All the guys on nrG, all the guys on OD. So Cord, Nrg Expo. It's actually really nice to be back and doing this again. I think this is the most fun I ever have casting. Right now I'm lifting off my command center and trying to kill my SCVs right quick, get them off the field so they actually play the game. Unfortunately, we didn't have the obs map up. Anyway, so this is going to be between nrG King, aka Cute, who's starting at the 9 o'clock position in brown, and Mathias, who's being fielded by OD, who's going to go as an orange protoss here in this match. This is on Katrina, and as you can see from basically my spawn, you've got that map artifact, which allows pretty decent seal-ins on the front door, and then you've got that protected second expo. Now let's see if I can get the SCVs. I'm not going to spend too much time. I just want to get them out of the way for scouting purposes. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to go for the Q just so I can explain what I'm doing here. Shoot, one SCV left alive. What I'm going to try to do is wait until that SCV runs across to scouting if it does send, and then I'll try to send it across so this doesn't end up getting spotted. Anyway, so continuing, it looks like we're seeing some pretty standard build. Doesn't look like we're seeing any cheese on either side. Hello World, special shout out to him, by the way. And looks like we're going to see a pretty standard lock-in by nrG King, aka Cute. So yeah, he's already got that supply depot down. Doesn't look like he's doing anything too crazy either. Looks like he's just going to go for a standard economical build. Setting the barracks up at a little off position. You should seeing that a little bit closer, but looks like he's already in a good position to lock himself in. And we'll see what happens. It looks like we're going to see a 14 Nexus on the opposite side from Mathias. So Mathias going for a pretty quick economic build, going to set up that Nexus in the back door, and we'll see where he goes from there. He might decide to just go straight Dragoon, straight tech. He's going to have a lot of options opened up. This is very popular on Katrina, is just going to the second Nexus very quickly and then just going straight to carriers, just because carriers tend to be very powerful on this map. It's hard just because of map artifacts across the board to get a really good 2 factory push off, to get any sort of factory push off. It's pretty easy defensible positions for Protoss just because they can get Dragoons on the ramp lines, and I'll show you that in a second. Gateway going down in the meantime for Mathias in his front door. As you can see with the map artifact, they can just plant those Dragoons across the front door and not really worry about it. Now Mathias is starting to send out a scout. Looks like he's going to do a clockwise scout, so he's going to come across King's base second, and King now has the full seal, so at least he'll have the advantage of no scouting information. We'll see what he does from here. It looks like he's producing a single Marine across this depot just in case there's pressure coming, but he's got the 2 barracks lined up. I'm sorry, the 2 supply depots and the barracks on the right, of course. And in the meantime, he's been pumping gas this entire time, now putting that first factory down. Still has not sent out a scout, and we'll see if this first Marine ends up being his initial scout. Looks like actually he's just going to camp it outside the front door, so he's playing completely in the dark. In the meantime, yeah, full swing, just straight tech in the meantime from Mathias. Mathias hasn't put down his CC, I'm sorry, his cybernetics core yet, so yeah, not command center, CC, he's the Protoss player in the center. Now we finally see the scout going out for, clicking my own command center there. Now we see finally the scout going out for King, and it looks like he is scouting in the clockwise direction as well, so he's going to end up coming across the base second. Well, unfortunately, I think that's going to be a little late for reaction. The scout is going to be denied. Oh, sneaking through the barracks. Looks like Mathias managed to sneak that probe through, so he's going to see that factory going up. He's going to check the secondary. He's going to see that there's not an additional secondary there, so he's going to have a pretty good idea of what King is up to. So he sees that that second command center is now going up in that secondary, and his secondary is already starting to pump here, and so he's going to be in a pretty good position at this point. I think we'll see if he just goes straight tech from here. He's actually putting down a second gateway. He's also got that cybernetics core down, so maybe he's going to opt for a drop and maybe go for some sort of reaver harass in the meantime. He's still got that probe. Looks like he's headed back towards the front door. Looks like a machine shop's going up in the meantime, just in case some sort of Dragoon pressure is coming on the front door. Looks like we do see a Zealot headed towards the front. It looks like it's going to try to break the difference on the barracks. And actually, I'm going to say that Cute's in a little bit of trouble here. He still hasn't, I don't see, it looks like he is producing something out of his factory, probably a tank, but in the meantime, that Zealot probably is going to be able to sneak through and maybe get a Marine kill here. It's going to be pretty close here as far as the timing goes. In the meantime, just continue with the supply depots. Looks like the probe scout was finally killed. And actually, now the Zealot is starting to approach. It's approaching from an odd direction, though. Starting to attack the map artifact here, so going to put on a little pressure at the map artifact and just try to be a little bit annoying. I'm surprised he didn't just try to gun for the gap. Now, third Marine's been produced for King. The opposite end looks like there is a scout inside Mathias's base, it is seeing the secondary. It's seeing that secondary is in fact up and is in fact producing. The second gas is not up though. And now you see the cybernetics core going. It looks like the robotics facility is going down. Some dragoons are being produced, so it looks like range upgrade. I'm going to assume that range is being upgraded here. We'll see, obviously, because he hasn't canceled it. We'll see once he kills the SCV if he decides to cancel it, if it was just a fake weapons 1 push. In the meantime, looks like I'm going to assume this is siege tech being upgraded on the factory. Secondary is now up for King. See if he puts down additional factories here momentarily. He still has that scout alive inside Mathias's base. He's done an excellent job keeping that scout alive, pushing around. He sees that cybernetics core whirling, and now he's bringing that SCV scout back out. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it though. So now 2 dragoons out. So actually both players doing a pretty good job here, just about even. Economic, a little bit and wow, we're going to see a standard flash build armory before second factory here for Mathias. He's lifted off his front door with 2 tanks and 3 marines. And it looks like he's going to do a 1 factory push here. He's got 2 tanks. He's got 3 marines. No, he's starting to back off. That actually did surprise me quite a bit. And he's going to send out another SCV scout. He's just going to take up that position above the ramp. So essentially what that's going to do is that's going to force, and you can see the same thing on the opposite side. That's going to force Mathias to kind of push through. He's going to be at the disadvantage because, first of all, he's going to have that 1/3 hit miss going from low ground to high ground. And additionally, he's not going to have that spotting information. I'm going to assume that Siege is upgraded because I haven't seen a Vulture produced in the meantime, and it looks like the machine shop has stopped whirling. Second factory going down. Armory is also almost down. It looks like we're going to see Quick Weapons 1. And a 3rd expansion going up for Mathias at the inside 9 o'clock, I'm sorry, the inside 3 o'clock position. That has been spotted out, though. Looks like ooh, that was bad timing. An SCV going up and spotting out just as a pylon was going down. Looks like a second pylon being put down just to avoid that vulture pressure, and a single probe being pushed out. Observer is now out in the field as well, starting to push out for Mathias to get scouting information. Now we see 5 dragoons starting to push around. We'll see if they're just going to go after that SCV scout or if they're going to continue. And now we have 4 tanks on one side as well as 3 marines. Second factory up, third factory going down. It looks like we're going to see some vulture production here on that side. And yeah, the secondary at full swing. Looks like weapons 1 is not quite being upgraded. Engineering bay going down as well. And yeah, I'm not seeing any sort of, actually no, now backdoor tech a little bit out of off position. I assume this is to kind of avoid some comsat here at an awkward position for Mathias. It's up towards the secondary. He's producing 2 additional gateways here, and that's going to slow down his reinforcements. But that is going to be, it looks like he's putting down 3 gateways at this position. And he's also got a Citadel 4 gateways at this position. He's additionally got a Citadel of Dune, so he's going to have a total of 6 gateways. They're going to be kind of at an awkward position, though, in between the 2 bases, and it looks like he's setting up a Stargate as well. So it looks like he's going to opt more for a Arbiter attack here, which kind of surprises me. And now he's putting a pylon at the what would be the 3rd expansion, just to be annoying to make sure that Cute wouldn't be able to get that 3rd expansion up. Now he's it looks like an observer just hanging outside of Mathias' base. Second machine shop going down, produce additional tanks, and it looks like a speed upgrade. And we've got a single Goliath, a Vulture, and now we're seeing the push from Cute. He's got about 5 tanks, 3 Marines, a Goliath, and a Vulture starting to push up towards the base. Unfortunately, he's going to be running into a decent amount of reinforcements. I have a feeling as soon as he gets across the map, he's going to be running into some trouble. Looks like he was just trying to secure that 3rd expansion, however. Going to play more of an economical game, killing that pylon, but that is going to give an indication. It looks like we've got an observer that's just pinned to this group of units here. And in the meantime, we've got an engineering base starting to float across the map. A couple turrets at the forward sector as well as a Goliath, and now we see that weapons 1. It's probably about, I would say, 3/4 upgraded. Now some dragoons starting to go across the north of the map. Another SCV scout coming around, and Mathias unfortunately doesn't have his front door blocked, so this SCV is going to get an eyeful of information here. And yeah, it's just camped out in front of the ramp, just waiting there in the meantime. Observer still pinned out, and it looks like we're going to see. No, Cute looked like he had an SCV in position to take that additional expansion at the inside 9 o'clock position. Doesn't look like he's doing it. Another observer being brought up, and now at the 12 o'clock position, we see at the 12 o'clock position on the inside. I'm sorry, at the secondary at the 12 o'clock position, another pylon's down to block any additional command centers that might be going down. 2 observers pinned on that control group. Looks like the second observer is being sent towards the base to get a little bit of scouting information. Full upgrades across the board on the machine shop, but it looks like that Mathias is setting up at the 12 o'clock location to take that base as well. He still has about at the inside 12 o'clock location a full control group of dragoons, and he's starting to push out. And now, as long as he keeps up with his macro, he'll be in a pretty good position. He's got a lot of factories down. Now he's already got the Citadel of Adun, the Templar Archives. Looks like he's going to produce his first Arbiter in a moment here. There's 4 Vultures in wait here at the inside 6 o'clock location. Looks like they're waiting to make an attack run here at the main, perhaps at the inside 3 o'clock location. SEV just kind of chilling outside the inside 3 o'clock location as well. And now it looks like, ooh, Mathias is gathering up a decent-sized attack force to push up. And he's going to have a couple mines here just kind of planted in an awkward position additionally, just to make sure there wasn't any flanking. And now SEV is going to start scouting. It's going to see that 12 o'clock probe that's just now putting down the Nexus. Didn't see that Nexus going down to that location. Not coming back in that probe. This is interesting, though. Cute does not have any of his tanks sieged. He's got about, I would say, 8 tanks here, a Goliath, 3 SCVs. Let me get a full, proper count. Yeah, 8 tanks. 7 tanks. No, 8 tanks. 8 tanks, 2 Goliaths, 3 Marines, and 2 Vultures starting to press towards it. And it looks like, yeah, players just moving around. Looks like a comsat did go off. And now we're seeing sort of a mine contain outside the front door just to block off reinforcements for Mathias. And the Dragoons and the Zealots being brought, kind of a large, I would say, about a control group and a half of Dragoons, maybe a little bit over that.